guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk a little bit about hand lettering and how I got into hand lettering and how you can, and what I would recommend for a beginner. So to start off with, hand lettering is, you might be like, what is hand lettering? It's sort of like calligraphy, but it's also very different. Hand lettering, you can use markers. You don't have to use like super fancy like calligraphy pens or everything. Basically, it is a lot less, there's less rules to it. It's pretty simple. Like anybody can hand letter. If you can write, you can hand letter. It's just something that takes a little bit of time, but you do not have to be good at handwriting to be good at hand lettering. So that's just my little tidbit. So to begin with, you'll need paper, and there's so many different types of paper out there on the market. You're probably very confused as to what to get, but since you will be using like markers and stuff like that, you want to have a thicker sheet of paper. And you might be like, how do I find out the thickness of the paper? Set it on a scale. Like, okay, so this is what you're gonna do. Pads of paper will have a pound amount, and that's how much they weigh. So like this one is 100 pounds. And then this one is a little bit smaller, is, I don't know if you can see that, 98 pounds. So that's how much the sheet of paper, the thickness of the paper, and that helps you. It's very helpful for hand lettering. So I would personally recommend the 98 pound, and I think you can find this in a bigger size if you want like a big notepad. And these are my reasons why. I think the 98 is smoother, so when you write, it's just smoother, I find, and it is still thick enough. So yeah, there might be some bleed through, but it doesn't go on to the next page, so it's not a problem at all. The 100, it's nice, but it's so thick and it's a little bit coarse. Like the pages are a little bit just rough. So I personally prefer the 98 pound, and if you're a beginner, that's what I would suggest starting off with, and probably sticking with. But you know, basically you just want a thicker sheet of paper so your marker and everything doesn't bleed through. After that, the equipment, if you want to call it, that you need is really simple. I just went to Walmart and got a makeup bag. It was fairly cheap, and it came with this cute little makeup pouch, and I just turned it into my hand lettering craft container. So I have like lots of markers in here and markers in here. So it's so simple, the tools you need. I would recommend, so I use Sharpie more, but I also have Crayola. So just like your typical Crayola and then your typical Sharpie. So just whatever you want of those, that's great. You can get fun ones like metallic-y ones. Yeah, that's what they're called. And then you can also get, I think they're called paint pens. Yeah, paint pens. And these are a lot thicker, and you really do want a thick piece of paper for these. It's just different. This would be like more specialty, not what you would typically write with. So just keep that in mind. And then, so markers is basically what you're working with. And there's really no certain rules for hand lettering, and I'm no pro at hand lettering. This is just what I personally do. And what I mean, if people ask me, how do you get started hand lettering? This is what I would tell them. So there's really no rules. I'm sure people will tell you different things, but yeah. Black Sharpies, y'all. Black Sharpies. That's like a great way to start. If you just want to be very simple, get a pad of paper and then get your Sharpies. And then I also have some fine tip pens. They're like lots of different colors. Yeah, they're like really little, like 0.3 millimeter I think that's what that means for pens. I don't know. And yeah, this brand is not my favorite. I don't have a wonderful brand to recommend to you. But just look for like fine pens that are very, very, very small. So that's just nice for little details. I really don't use them a whole lot. Honestly, I use markers the most. And then also brush letter pens. This is sort of, for me, the fanciest I go. Is they do call them calligraphy lettering brush pens, but it's not really fancy or anything. It's honestly just a pen with a little tip to, come on, camera. I don't know if you can see that. It wants to be a pain, but it just has like a little tip. And it takes a little practice getting used to using a brush pen, but you don't have to like use it in really any sort of fancy way. It just, to me, it can be really smooth and nice writing, and especially for those more like, you know, serious, like old black writing, whatever, sophisticated. So that's about that for the tools. You can use just a standard pencil. You might want a pencil, an eraser, a ruler, all those typical type of things, erasers, but it's entirely up to you. There's a lot of options with hand lettering. All right, and then next, so you have all your tools, all that, but how to get started. So this is what helped me getting books. So I got 3 hand lettering books. I think it was 2 Christmases ago. I was like, you know, I want to get into hand lettering. And what really helped me launch my hand lettering career, it's not a career, hobby, was, and y'all, I'm really not that good, okay, I'm really not that good, was these books. And my favorite book that I got, that if you were to get any hand lettering book, I would say get this one. It's Happy Hand Lettering by Megan Taylor. She is awesome. This book is the cutest thing ever. Her saying is, turn your mistakes into confetti. It's so cute. Like, I mean, come on, you guys. Like, it's so interactive. There's like, she teaches you different, you know, ways to write things, places to practice, her tools she uses, her tips. Yeah, it's incredible. Just makes me so happy, honestly. Yes, she has places you can literally like outline and like write it in. Like, they'll have the outline and you just like marker over it. Great. This is my favorite of the books. Highly recommend this one. But the other 2 I got, I don't know which one to do first. I guess we'll do this one. Honestly, to be like, I haven't really used this one a whole lot. It looks amazing. I just haven't really gotten the time to doing this book per se. But it's Faith and Lettering by Crystal Witten. I think that's how you say it, but I'm not entirely sure. So it's like a really cute book. She is very much, this book and the previous book, by Megan Taylor, they're both Christians, so there's like Christian aspects, and she does lots of like sermon notes, like how she would like illustrate sermon notes, you know, Christian sayings, all of that. She goes into a lot of detail. She is very precise. So yeah, if you want something like more sophisticated, I would go with this book. If you just want something chill, happy, free, whatever, then go with Megan Taylor's book. So, or get them both. That's always a good option. And lastly, and this is probably my least favorite, but it was so good. Yeah, it was good. Is the Hand Lettering 101 by Chock Full of Love. I don't know her name. Her name's Sarah. Sarah. There you go. So it's a really cute book. And I love the books that like lay flat. That is a very important thing. I mean, you know, Crystal Witten's book is not like that. But there are a lot of hand lettering books that do lay flat, and that is so helpful, especially when they have things for you to practice and you need to like write it out. Very helpful. So she, you know, goes into how to like write certain things, her different fonts for you to practice with, how to make words dance, as she likes to call it, dance it out, and then just more different fonts to learn. So honestly, just buy some books, watch YouTube videos, look at other people's hand lettering, get inspiration on Pinterest. It's really quite simple, and it's really fun once you get started. I used to have terrible handwriting. I still do not have wonderful handwriting, but hand lettering has helped me get a lot better at regular handwriting. So if there's one reason why you should do hand lettering, it's to make your handwriting better. Let's see if there's any hand lettering photos I should show you before I go. Honestly, just play around. You can do all sorts of things. Sometimes I literally just write things. Sometimes I add a little bit of art to it, but I'm really not good at drawing. I'm okay at, you know, writing words. So my drawing is normally very minimalistic. Minimal. It's very minimal. This is something I did with a paint pen, so you can sort of see what it looks like. And yeah, no, I'm not a future Mrs. Smith. I was just like, Smith, let's use that lesson. So it's a very nice look for paint pens. I use it again here, and a little bit of art. So honestly, just have fun with it. You can use like super big fonts and just rock it out. Yeah, really, you can use Bible verses. Often I'll look up Bible verses, I'll work up song lyrics, I'll look up my favorite quotes. There's so much options for hand lettering. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. Just sort of just play along with it, and don't be upset at first if your hand lettering doesn't look beautiful, because nobody's starts off looking incredible. This is not the way it works. Practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes better, and it makes progress, and practice is always good. So I hope this video was informational and you now feel ready to go to Walmart and get your markers and all of that. So love you guys, and thanks for checking into my channel.